What is up, guys? Bad Sniper here with you guys again with another Pokemon Sword and Shield Season 3 Ranked Battles video. So today we're going to do something a little different. We're not going to be using one of my teams. We're going to be using a rental code that I'm going to give you guys the description below, as well as a Pokepaste for it as usual. And we're actually going to be using the the Champion Cup. So the Champion Cup was held last week by a bunch of the bigger Twitch streamers, A Drive, Wolfglick. And the team that won it was actually super interesting. Out of the 8 teams in the top 8, it was actually the only team to not run Incineroar and ran Arcanine instead. And the reason being was super fast Will-O-Wisps and fast Snarls. So, with that being said, let's go take a look at the team first, and then we're going to head into some games. All right, guys, so we're here with the rental code for the team, so you guys can see it on screen. It will also be in the description below. But super interesting team. So you have Light Clay Lapras, so you're going to be getting that G-Max off, and the reasoning is going to be to extend the Aurora Veil. It also has Perish Song, which is pretty interesting. You have a pretty standard Arcanine. It's there for the Will-O-Wisp and the Snarl with very quick Will-O-Wisp, very quick Snarl. Also has the Helping Hand option. It's a pretty supportive Arcanine. The Focus Sash Tyranitar is interesting. I'm gonna have to probably play it a little bit to get used to it. I haven't played with this team yet, but the Assurance seems pretty cool as a nice little tech. Usually you're used to Crunch in that slot. And then you also have the Focus Sash on that. So that's definitely interesting as well. So it can give you the double power in certain situations, because Tyranitar is a slow Pokemon. But that's definitely interesting. And then we also have a Mimikyu, Lumberry Mimikyu to get rid of a burn, Play Rough, Phantom Force, Shadow Sneak, and the Trick Room option. The Dusclops, which I have not gotten to use a Dusclops yet. Pain Split, Haze, Trick Room, Nightshade is a pretty cool option. And the Iron Fist, not Guts Conkeldurr. I haven't used an Iron Fist Conkeldurr either, with Detect, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, and Mach Punch. So pretty standard set on the Conkeldurr. Again, we'll have the EV spreads for all of these Pokemon in the description below. But with that being said, we're just going to jump on into the games and learn the team together and see if we can find any cool tricks to do with it. All right, so here we go. Got our matchup, and interesting team. So we have Conk, we have Incinnabun, we have Togekiss, Slurpuff, Easing, and Dusclops. Alright, so I don't mind Lapras here. What do I want to set it next to is the question. I like Conkeldurr in the back. Arcanine's not terrible here. I don't think it's ideal though either. I want to just Lapras Dusclops, set up a Trick Room turn 1, since most of his team's faster than me. And then we can go for a Conkeldurr and the Intimidate in the back. I don't like the Tyranitar when there's a Conkeldurr option on my opponent's side. But other than that, let's see what we got. So he's going to be starting Weezing Slurpuff. Wasn't sure if we were going to see the Slurpuff. That answers that question really quickly. And it is a Misty Surge Weezing. So abilities are A-okay here. And a Misty Seed Special Defense Rise from that Slurpuff. We have Wide Glasses. And that didn't read anything on the Slurpuff because it already used its ability. So let's just go into the Weezing here. Might just Haze off the bat. But I think we're better off just set up the Trick Room. And moving from there. Eight turns of Aurora Veil coming in hot. There's a Lure Ball Square Shiny Lapras. That's pretty nice. I didn't notice the ball in game. in the preview. I usually don't look at those till like the end game. I'm so used to everything of mine being in love balls that when I use a rental code, I'm all sorts of confused. I bet it's actually a shiny. Whoa, that's a G-Max Slurpuff. Things I didn't expect at 11 o'clock. Oh no, Wheezing. Wait, so confused. I've never seen a G-Max Wheezing before. But that is where we sent our attack into, so. Slurpuff going with the fake tears, lowering my defenses. Wheezing, are you fast? You are not faster than Lapras, so we do get the resonance up. Decent damage. And the Aurora Veil. Max Lightning at -2. Actually, it still kind of eats that. Alright, we got Trick Room up, and we can eat one more of those if we really need to. See no reason not to max guard here. And Nightshade the Wheezing. Let's get that chip damage off. Alright, so protected both of those. We'll take a little bit of damage here on the Dusclops. That did pretty much nothing. So we're going for a Max Geyser here. That's going to do a little bit more. And we're going to Haze. Haze is going to eliminate all stat changes. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that our Lapras is not at -2 special defense. And it's also going to give the Slurpuff back to even as well because it is at +1 special defense. So the Haze is going to come in handy on this turn, which is going to let us live the Weezing's G-Max Lightning that it's going to go for. Yep. So we get to live that pretty nicely now. And the Max Geyser setting up the rain for us on the last turn of the G-Max. And it puts the Weezing in the KO range for the Dusclops next turn. Fake Tears is coming out again. And this time he goes into Dusclops with those. Alright. So I'm honestly not too worried about the... I'm not too worried about the Slurpuff's damage, right? So we can go into the Slurpuff, and we can Nightshade the Weezing, which will definitely pick up the KO. And let's see what our opponent does. The -2 on Dusclops is annoying, but we're both going to attack before that, so it's not going to be a big deal. So down goes Weezing. And in the rain, a Hydro Pump does. Survey says 80% damage. We'll take those. Alright, so we are in the red now on Lapras. We do see that Slurpuff does no damage, so again, we're not too worried about it. It does have the Fake Tears option, which we are worried about. And Calder's gonna just Mach Punch, right? Alright, watch this play, chat. Why do I keep saying chat? Conk is gonna Mach Punch 100% of the time. We're gonna protect that. And then we're gonna Pain Split ourselves to heal the Lapras up a little bit. Doesn't work to protect. Alright. Worth checking out, though. I didn't know that for sure. As the dimensions return back to normal, we do get the electricity off the field. Can we protect the Lapras? We can. Is it worth it for us? Probably. Let's switch in the Arcanine. And we're gonna Nightshade the Slurpuff. Get that off the board. We're gonna get Conkeldurr at -1. And the question's gonna become, is the Conkeldurr the Guts variety or the Iron Fist variety? Because if he's Iron Fist, a Will-O-Wisp just cripples it. If he's Guts, a Will-O-Wisp is very risky. He is Life Orb, so we can see that. And neither of our Pokemon are going to take too much damage from this one. Nightshade's going to pick up the KO right here. Dusclops putting in a ton of work for us right now. The Trick Room was very helpful getting rid of the Wheezing, and the Nightshades are a nice bonus on top. We did misplay slightly when we went for that Pain Split, but it was more of a science play. I've never used the Pain Split tech with the Protect. I know some some hits do work like that, but some do not. So we're just gonna go Flare Blitz into Conkeldurr, Pain Split. Incineroar probably fakes out the Arcanine, right? I think Pain Split into the Conkeldurr. Both of these Pokemon are pretty slow. He doesn't go for the fake out. Okay. Both of his Pokemon are pretty slow, but they're also pretty beefy. Darkest Lariat. Does that KO Dusclops? It does not. Perfect. Does Rock Slide KO Dusclops? It does not. Once again, perfect. Give me that HP, boy. Alright. I think we switch out the Arcanine. They're both physical attackers. Send in the Conkeldurr. And once again, if we can get the Trick Room up, we win, right? Probably just better off to go for a safe Nightshade onto the Conk. Battle's canceled. Alright. He saw there was no outs for that. So that was pretty good first game. Dusclops was definitely the MVP, but the Aurora Veil also was a very big help. We're gonna be breeding some of those Dusclops for sure. I do want some of those for our PvP team, and for the giveaways on the stream. But with that being said, let's just hop into game number 2 and see if we can showcase some of the other Pokemon on this team. All right, here we go. Game number 2 and a super interesting team. We got Liepard, we got Mimikyu, Milotic, Sylveon, Dragapult, and those aren't the crazy Pokemon. The Jolteon at the bottom there is super interesting tech. That might be a Lapras answer, right? Because Jolteon's super fast. I still want to kind of go Lapras Dusclops. Tyranitar on the back is really good here for me against the Dusclops of his own. Don't have a amazing answer to Sylveon. I guess the Snarls would be my best bet there. Or just something I'm not noticing. I feel like I don't have a great answer to Sylveon though. I think we go with the Arcanine though as the 4th. So the same thing minus the Conkeldurr. We haven't brought the Mimikyu yet. What do I have for Sylveon here? Just waiting for our opponent to lock in. Like there's no glaring option that I could think of. I don't have a Steel or a Poison type, right? Or coverage for either of those either. I guess we just whittle it down and have our defenses up. Sylveon seems pretty strong against us. And there's the Liepard and Sylveon coming out. Shiny Sylveon at that. Square shiny. Probably visited my den. So we have Pixie Plate. I see no reason not to G-Max Resonance, and... Do I want to Trick Room against this? Lipard's probably Prankster, so it doesn't care. And Sylveon's super slow, so it doesn't care. Yeah, I think we just go Nightshade into the Sylveon. I don't think we want Trick Room here. I think we're faster than probably... We're probably faster than the Sylveon. Or it'll be close at the very least. There is, I believe it's 60 speed invested into the Lapras. Okay, so his Sylveon is faster. That, oh no, that was the Lipard slot, right? Yeah, that was the Lipard slot. Interesting. Usually more of a supportive Pokemon. I didn't expect to see a G-Max here. So we know he's not going for a Prankster move. Let's see what he is going for. I'm actually curious myself here. Definitely an unorthodox G-Max in both of our games so far for my opponent. Max Dox. So he's just lowering my special defenses. Pretty good damage to the Dusclops. I see what he wants to do. So the special defense drop is then going to make the Sylveon do more damage. Oh, we do get the boost right now from the Aurora Veil. And the Hyper Voice probably, yeah. That puts Dusclops in a very tough situation. GMX Geyser KOs the Sylveon and Dusclops. I think we want to switch out into the Arcanine, I guess, but I don't think Arcanine really wants to eat that either. I think that's the better play. Save Dusclops for later. Try and pivot here and get the +1 Pokemon, because a Geyser should KO the Sylveon. And we saw that the Hyper Voice isn't going to do too much to the Lapras, although it'll be at -1, -2, because Lipard, I assume, is going to do another Max Darkness. This time it's probably going into the Lapras slot, though, because at the HP that Dusclops is at, there's no reason to do it into the Dusclops slot. Unfortunately, this Intimidate's not going to matter. Actually, is Lipard a special attacker or a physical attacker? It kind of does matter, though, Lipard. It's a Max Strike. That did literally nothing. So, okay. We do get a minus in speed, which isn't a huge deal. Yeah, like, that's not an issue at all. Especially because we could always Trick Room later. That should KO. It does. And so the combination of the Intimidate plus the Aurora Veil is really, really powerful. Especially since Lipard's not really a physical powerhouse in the first place. And we get rid of the biggest threat on the board for us. So we're going to go into the Mimikyu here with both a Snarl and a Geyser. Arcanine's faster, so the Snarl is going to break the Mimikyu. And then Lapras is going to hit into the Mimikyu. I guess the Lipard's an interesting strategy with the Max Darkness on speed, right? Because you're lowering your special defenses to make your Sylveon do more damage, but I feel like he had some really good G-Max or Dynamax options on his team to pick Lipard as one. I mean, I really just see Lipard as a support Pokemon. Like a really strong Prankster support option, but not something you're going to Dynamax often, and very rarely something you're going to Dynamax on turn 1. Yeah, that did, again, absolutely nothing. And the minus special defense at this point doesn't actually matter because Mimikyu is a physical attacker. He is going to go for a Phantom Force, so that's really good. he wastes my last turn. Essentially a protect, but actually in this case better. Okay, so both of our G-Maxes are gone. We're gonna go for a Hydro Pump into the Mimikyu. And another Snarl. Oh no, because... So Mimikyu is faster than both of us, so yeah, another Snarl. So Mimikyu's gonna hit first. Copycat's gonna hit first. What is he copying? Who is he copying? Hydro Pump. Into the... He just Hydro Pumped my own Lapras. Unless he knows the... No, he doesn't know the calcs. I was gonna say, unless he knows the calcs he needed that little bit of chip damage to KO my Lapras. I don't really understand that one at all, but alright. So the Snarl doesn't do a lot of damage to either, but that's not really what we care about. We wanted to get that Disguise gone. And we do. And now Lapras is going to be free to Hydro Pump into that Mimikyu for actual damage, which might pick up the KO considering we're in rain. And it does. Alright. So we're up 2 Pokemon to none. And it puts me in a situation where he has to KO my Lapras before my Lapras goes, or I get to just pick Perish Song. And I can literally just stall out the last couple of turns if necessary. So we're going to go for Perish Song here. And we're going to Will-O-Wisp the Dragapult. It might be Special Attacker Dragapult, but there's no reason not to check. At the worst case, I'm getting some chip damage. I don't have a great answer to Dragapult, admittedly. Oh no, I have Tyranitar in the back. I do have a great answer. I didn't bring Conk this game. I brought Tyranitar because of the Dragapult, so we actually have a perfect answer to it back. So we're in a pretty good spot then. Copycat's going again. Let's use it this time. Hydro Pump again. Lapras avoids. Psychic Fangs. So he's gonna break the Aurora Veil. Okay. I probably should have expected that and just protected, but we do see that Psychic Fangs tells me it's probably a physical Dragapult, so burning that is very big for us. Which also tells me that I'm free to Assurance the Dragapult and switch out the Arcanine for the Dusclops. If Dusclops gets KO'd, it's not a big deal. It lets me... Okay, he's going to cancel. So the idea was to swap out the Arcanine, bring in the Dusclops, let the Dusclops get KO'd or not. Either way, it doesn't matter. And then you can bring in the Arcanine again. I know both of his Pokemon are physical attackers, so the Intimidate is really big there. And our Tyranitar actually had a really good matchup against both of them. So... 2 games, 2 wins. Team's feeling pretty good so far. Definitely some things I could probably play a little better if I knew the team more. Again, like I said at the start, this is the first time I'm using this team. So there's definitely some ins and outs that I probably don't know. Or some lead combinations and interactions. But it's working pretty good so far. So let's head into game 3 and see how we do there. Alright guys, game number 3. We're playing Tom Nook over here. And this is a throwback. This is very similar to the team that Aaron Treller won the Dallas Regionals with. So I'm expecting like a Whimsicott, Charizard lead. The Intimidate's a little bit risky here thanks to the Milotic. So we might leave that at home. I think Lapras Dusclops seems really nice of a lead here to get the Trick Room up. And honestly, Tyranitar seems really good against a lot of his team too. We lead that. Do I lead Tyranitar Dusclops? No. The Thunder Punch on Conkeldurr in the back here is definitely coming. And then the question is the fourth Pokemon. I do really like Tyranitar against a lot of this team. I also really like Conkeldurr against a lot of this team. Like his whole team, really, because of that Thunder Punch. Dude, what are the odds of... Do I want to lead Conkeldurr? And just predict it right off the bat? Yeah, like we've showcased everything else. Let's go Conkeldurr, balls to the wall here. And we're gonna detect in Trick Room turn 1. And then set up right in his face for some shenanigans. I'm expecting Whimsicott plus either Dora or... Ooh, neither of those. So Milotic and Cinnabons. That's fine as well. So we got leftovers and we got a Figgy Berry. So that information coming in big from the desktops already. We're gonna just set up Trick Room. And we're gonna start turn 1 with a... What do I care about? I mean, Incineroar is gonna fake me out, right? So there's no reason not to protect here. Oil from the Milotic. Parting Shot protected from the Incinnabon. And we get our Trick Room. Alright. So this is a 252 attack. Plus Life Orb. Plus Iron Fist. And let's Haze, get rid of that boost from the Milotic. And get rid of the -1 on the Incineroar. And then Thunder Punch into the Milotic. I don't want to G-Max just yet. That's the withdraw. That's fine. Whimsicott comes in. That's fine. Haze comes out. So now our our Conkeldurr is not -1, and his Milotic is not +1. Which is big for us right there. And a huge chunk of damage onto the Milotic. Hypnosis, even at... Oh, even with that... You know, it doesn't get rid of the accuracy boost, right? So that's not... super crazy. It did get rid of the plus defense though, which is why we got it so low. But we needed to get rid of its plus defense. So we're gonna Nightshade, get rid of the Milotic. And then I guess we have no option but to slowly try and wake up our Conkeldurr. Milotic's dipping. Charizard, Incineroar comes back, that's fine. Nightshade. And Conk is asleep. What does Whimsicott do? Moonblast. Probably into the Conk. Yep. Whoa, that's a really offensive Whimsicott. Things we didn't expect to see at 11 o'clock. Can I even live through that? No, I can't live through that, so there's no point. Honestly, sacrificing the Conkeldurr's fine here. He helped us get a lot of damage off onto the one Pokemon I was really worried about. That's fine. Like, the Milotic is crippled, the Incineroar is pretty low, and he has his own Conkeldurr in the back. Moonblast is going to pick up the KO onto our Conk. That's fine. Let's just bring in the Lapras here. His Conk is going to G-Max. Probably slower than ours too, right? Last turn of Trick Room as well. So let's go for a Nightshade into the Conkelder. And a G-Max Resonance into the Whimsicott. His Conk is going to G-Max. Our Lapras is going to G-Max. This is the last turn of Trick Room. So we are going to have to figure that one out. Although Trick Room ending is actually not a terrible thing for me. Unless he sets up Tailwind. Yeah, his Conkelder is slower than mine. Although the G-Max fighting isn't the strongest G-Max move. He could have Electric as well, though. I don't think either one's gonna one-shot Lapras. And we'll be able to get our Resonance off. But we'll find out. Let's see what we got here. Tailwind actually helps me out on this turn. Because now we're both gonna be slower. I don't know why you would Tailwind on this turn. Next turn made more sense to Tailwind on. Next turn made way more sense to Tailwind on. Now we get the Aura Veil up before you attack, where I wouldn't have had that. Max Knuckle. Yeah, it's fine. I don't understand why you do that there. Because you get the +1 attack, which is annoying. And the Twisted Dimension turn to normal, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just reset Trick Room, and we're gonna protect on our Lapras. So Trick Room and Max Guard. Yeah, I honestly don't get why you would hurt yourself in that situation while they're still under Trick Room. Waiting one turn made more sense, right? If you would have waited one turn and then did that, it makes a lot of sense, but not in this situation. He does predict that and go into the Dusclops, but he does no damage to the Dusclops. And he actually just KOs his own Whimsicott. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out for him. And so we do technically waste the Protect, but really not that big of a deal. As the Whimsicott's gonna go down now. And both of his Pokemon in the back are pretty low. Incineroar's 50% and Milotic is in 1 Nightshade range. So we're in a pretty good spot right now. Although we do have to be smart about our health pool, because one Conkelder has a very good matchup against our Tyranitar in the back. We're gonna Max Geyser here, get rid of this sand, and get some damage onto the Conkelder. Nightshade's gonna pick up the KO onto the Milotic. And we're gonna set up a rain here. So we do know it's rock, it's fighting, probably double fighting rock. And then what is the fourth on Conkelder? Knuckle. So he's gonna go up to +2. Good damage that time. And both of our G-Maxes are gonna end. So here becomes the question. I want a Nightshade into the Conk. Does the Conk go into the Lapras? Right, and we could just protect here. We do have 3 turns of Trick Room left, and Aura Veil's gonna be up for the rest of the game. I think that's the safe play, is just protect. I don't think they have too much kill pressure on the Dusclops this turn. Or I should be able to get at least one more turn out of Dusclops and get a Pain Split off. So I think the Conch might Rock Slide here. It's probably a safer move. Alright, so we do get by the Fake Out, which is the usual option for Incineroar, and it is a Thunder Punch. But the Thunder Punch is going into Dusclops, not into Lapras. So the Tailwind does peter out, though. So here becomes the question. I mean, Nightshade onto the Conch. Conkeldur's now slower than us, right? I think we still go for a Freeze Dry here onto the Conkeldurr. Make him choose his target. So he is in KO range. He's gonna heal up that. How much does he heal? Get him out. Snarl. Which doesn't matter too much to us. And then we bring out the T-Tar. Alright, so I think we Nightshade Conkeldurr. Or do we Pain Split the Incineroar? That's gonna put us to like 70, give or take, right? So Incineroar, Pain Split, and just protect the Tyranitar. Do have the Focus Ash on the Tyranitar, and we do have the Aurora Veil still up. So we have to keep those in mind, despite having the bad matchup against the Conkeldurr. So we want to protect, expecting a Mach Punch, which we do get. But remember, the Conkeldurr is at +2, so I was close. I thought it would get me up to 70. It got me to 65. So I was very close there. Almost had it, chats. All right, so a little bit of chip right there. A little bit of chip right there. I like to think. Twisted Dimensions do return to normal. So Tyranitar is now faster than the Conkeldurr. I think the play here is Nightshade the Conkeldurr. Rock Slide. The Rock Slide's gonna put the Conkeldurr into KO range for the Nightshade, and it should KO the Incineroar. Does both of those things. The question is going to be, how much does Conkeldurr heal off of this Drain Punch that is going to be coming in 2 seconds? It won't KO because we have the Sash, which actually comes in really handy right now. But how much does he heal? A lot. But is it enough? Close. Alright, so same situation. This is a Nightshade the Conkeldurr, protect the Tyranitar play. We just don't want the Conkeldurr to heal, essentially. I think he's gonna have to read that and probably go into the... yeah, he's gonna go into the Dusclops. Which shouldn't KO. Does not. Oh, it does pick up the flinch, though. That's rough. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. That might be game. Nope, we get it. Alright. Because he had to go for a Rock Slide again. That was close. What do we have? 4 HP combined? That was a close one that ended up being... We ran out of answers to the Conkeldurr in the end there, but pulled it out thanks to some nifty protects. The Dusclops again was absolutely phenomenal for us in that game. So that's 3 games down. Let's do one more with this team, and then we'll do a little overview of it, how we're feeling it so far. And let's head into game number. All right, and here we go into what should be the last game of the video. Interesting team. So okay, so I see what they want to do. Right, Torkoal sending out the Sun for the Venusaur and the Charizard. I don't know what the Hakamo and the Heliolisk are for, but I don't really know them as Pokemon. And why? What gives water to the Colossal, right? Like, somebody has to hit the Colossal. I think Lapras is fine. Dusclops is fine. Definitely want some rock type attacks for that Charizard. Yeah, I kind of like the Mimikyu here. This is the first time we're actually going to bring the Mimikyu. Let's see what our opponent's got. It's definitely an interesting team for sure. Really liking a lot of aspects of this team already. The Dusclops. This team by itself has made me want to start playing a Dusclops. It's just so bulky, and Trick Room's been really helpful when I needed it. Alright, so Heliolisk and Torkoal. Okay. Portal. Language is Quartal. Choice Scarf and Heat Rock. Alright, so Lizzie Boy is Scarfed. So I think we just protect here. And Brick Room. Blizzard's probably gonna go for an electric type attack. Does he G-Max? I don't think he G-Maxes when you have Charizard and Colossal on your team, right? Yeah, exactly. Not when you have those Pokemon in your team, you don't G-Max. Try to switch out. Alright. It's a solar power lizard? I didn't even know that thing got that. Also, I don't know what Clear Smog does for you here. I think we Resonance into the lizard. Or do we go and just change the weather? I think we might want to just change the weather. In Nightshade. Alright, lizard just switches out. Which is actually perfect. Yep, Venusaur, perfect. Alright, so that actually is really good for us. This will let us change the weather. This probably doesn't KO in the sun, which is fine. I don't see that is too big of an issue. He might Solar Beam the Lapras. That's the only thing I could see him doing that would really bother me. Dusclops is going to be slowest. Torkoal will be the second slowest. Decent damage on that Nightshade. Eruption, after being Nightshaded, doesn't do too much. Max Geyser is going to change the weather for us. And almost pick up the KO as well. So we're going to be able to pick up the KO with the Dusclops before the Torkoal can go again. So if I'm him, I need my Sun, right? So I switch out in that situation. We're also going to G-Max Resonance into the Venusaur. And I think he switches out, right? I think he has to switch out. I want to double into the Venusaur because of that. I think he absolutely switches out here and preserves his Sun option. Probably his Charizard in the background. Brings in the lizard boy. That's fine. And he G-maxes his Venusaur, so he definitely doesn't have the Charizard at this point, right? And Venusaur's probably faster than both my Pokemon. So we're gonna get him with a double hit before he can go, and we're gonna set up the Aurora Veil more importantly. Nightshade's gonna do decent chip damage, all things considered, and super effective G-Max Resonance going into the Venusaur. Does a nice bulk damage right there. Sets up the Veil. And we got some really good damage onto 2 of his Pokemon already. Maxu's coming out. Gonna increase his special attack and do... is that 6 damage? That's a bold strategy, Calton. He does get the special attack boost, which is good for him. I think we just go G-Max Resonance into the Venusaur and a Nightshade into the Lizard. I don't actually care that he has the +1 special attack. At least not yet. There's a chance he max guards. He does not max guard. Wait, the Lizard's a normal type Pokemon? Nani? It's a normal electric type. I had literal 0 idea that was a thing. Literal 0. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so he's gonna bring in the Quirtle and whatever mystery guest is. Or he could just bring the Heliolisk back. Drought's gonna change the weather up. Not a huge deal. I had no idea that was a normal type Pokemon. I don't really see Heliolisks enough, so I guess you learned something new, which is good. I'll now know that for the future. And he still preserves that 4th Pokemon. Neither of us have a Dynamax left. I think we just protect the Lapras and Nightshade the Turtle. Ooh, Turtle has Protect. Can't expect that one. Okay, I think this is also the last turn of Trick Room. Parabolic Charge? I've honestly have to look that up. Healed him, whatever it does. The user attacks everything around it. The user's HP is restored by half the damage taken by those hit. I've never seen that attack before in my life. Let's freeze dry Lizzie and go for a Nightshade onto the Turtle. Yeah, that's fun. He's gonna heal up the full. Alright, so Freeze Dry is gonna do pretty good chip damage. Dusclops is gonna do nothing. And Solar Power is gonna drain a bit as well. So let's see what mystery Pokemon number 4 has been. Como. Alright, so we have a really good matchup on the back against that with the Mimikyu. This is definitely a protect the Lapras and set up the Trick Room play. He can't do the same thing, can he? He can. Oh yeah, he's Scarfed. He has to do the same thing. We saw the Scarf with the Dusclops turn 1. Okay. Gale's probably into Lap. Yep. Alright, so that's perfect. That's a really strong turn for us. growth spray on the Como. Alright, so we're going to freeze dry the Como. But before that, we are going to pain the Como. And heal our little Flopsy Poo up. Give me that HP, boy. And freeze dry probably KOs now. Which it does, perfect. Alright, so Lapras is gonna get KO'd. And then Dusclops is gonna damage. But this game's pretty much in the bag. I don't think Helios can deal with the rest of my team. It is also scarfed, so once that runs out of PP, it's gonna start struggling. Although, again, I've never seen this move before in my life, so I have no idea what the PP for it is. And, just bring in Tyranitar. Not really, afraid of an electric type attack on him. Sandstream's gonna help us with some chip damage. So, we are going to Superpower. We are going to Pain Split. And that should be the game. He doesn't quit before the attacks go, and he does. Okay, so 4 games, 4 wins with Fevzi's Champions Cup team. Definitely enjoyed a lot of it. The Lapras, I didn't get to use the Perish Song. I feel like it's a little interesting because there's no trap, right? There's no trapper, so you need to just get your opponent down to their final 2 Pokemon, or use it to force your opponent to switch out for some tempo. The Dusclops was an absolute monster that I loved, and I'm definitely going to be breeding one of my own in the near future for our competitive teams. So look out for those any extras I breed will be in the giveaway boxes in the near future, and we'll be doing some of those. I don't know if I'm going to Love Ball breed them or Beast Ball, because I do have a Beast Ball Dusclops already. I would need to catch a Love Ball one and breed that hidden ability into it. Assurance on Tyranitar is super interesting. It didn't come into play at all, and I feel like the crunch flinch chance I would have liked more often, but I'm sure he had it for a reason. And I definitely didn't mind the rest of the slots. The Focus Sash did come in handy in one game. Mimikyu I didn't really use at all, which felt a little unfortunate. But the Fairy type is a very good typing. I just feel like I feel like I probably would have rather Togekiss in that slot, honestly. Or maybe if it didn't have Shadow Sneak in Phantom Force and it had Taunt. Because I would have liked a nice Taunt option for opposing Trick Room teams. I didn't really run into any, but if I did, I feel like that would have been nice. Arcanine felt really good. Snarls were handy. Will-O-Wisp is almost always handy. Didn't get a chance to use Flare Blitz against like a Steel type. We didn't run into any of those today, but Arcanine was a nice tank for us. And Conkeldurr, I also didn't really get to use too much, but we already know that Conkeldurr is a beast. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. In the description below will be the Pokepaste and the rental code for this team, and a link to Fevzi's Twitter where he has the rental code if you want to check him out. Really good Pokemon battler, obviously, who won the Champions Cup. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Hopefully, we'll see you next stream. If you are watching this as it goes live, we'll be hosting the Easter Den event. If you are not watching this live and it's a little bit of time passed, be sure to join the Discord. We'll be announcing which dens we're doing in there. If you guys want to catch some shiny Pokemon, always going to be Square Shiny. In the Discord, we'll always vote on which den is next. So don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. If I don't put that in as a disclaimer, Will-O-Wisp will disown me. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night and hope you enjoyed the video.